Hello guys and welcome back to Strategic Command, World War II World at War with our first ever PvP against SirTravis. In the last episode, we've moved into April 10th, 1942. We did most of what we were going to do, if not everything, on the German front. Holding our ground over here, we killed a tank, we killed some other units around here, pushed up, took some more stuff, pretty decent, slow but decent, as we're preparing more elite units for the push. Germany has 302 MPPs remaining even after I paid for a new garrison. We do need many new garrisons, so I might invest heavily into that. Wow, game, we just started. And you're auto-saving? I haven't even done anything yet. Wonderful. But we'll have to figure out that expenditure later. I figure it might be fun to tackle Japan first, because they're in a very interesting way of things. Japan's been finishing tech left and right, and I've been trying my best to keep up with it while also maintaining other things, and we do really need to keep up with it. Right now, we need some ASW long-range aircraft going. I think we'll go with the ASW, because I think, from what I've seen, I've already seen him, I don't know, he's going to be navally heavy, right? So he might go with subs, because he kind of fears subs. That ASW capability can help. That's 150 MPPs to get that started. There's also the long-range aircraft, but everything else is kind of not as important. Advanced subs are about to finish. We'll research the ASW. That's 150 MPPs right out of the gate. We're down to 205 MPPs already. We have a bit of a navy to recover here, not to mention other fronts opening up. There's a couple important things to do. For one, we need to reinforce the 2nd Special Forces here, get them as high up as possible before their supply dips down. It's already down to 6. It's already down to 6, so general reinforcements, all that we're really going to manage. Reinforce the South Sea Special Forces that have taken Guam. It's very important to reinforce Special Forces once they land. Same thing here. Reinforce, that's 4 points already. We're down 80 MPPs already just reinforcing Special Forces that have landed on locations. This place is a bit harder to defend. It's 2 hexes. You can land on the mine, you can land on the settlement. Really either or here, but getting those reinforced before they lose the ability to reinforce, definitely very important. Eventually, I would love to get some cores moving in these locations. We have a core on Hong Kong, which is not necessarily very useful. It's not very important to have a core on Hong Kong. It's a capital, but it's a capital to like a single city location. Hanoi is obviously more important to have a core on, but I am tempted to say move this core out of here and send it somewhere. But that's a lot more MPPs, and we're already down to only 121. The DEI still isn't even protected. We don't have money to be blowing on Special Forces when it comes to Japan. So for now, we'll take the Central Expedition Army. We're going to move that up down the road here where we find an engineer group that we can slaughter, as well as the youth army that has elite reinforcements and 2 levels of experience. Forcing him to attack me rather than using a blitz attack on that would obviously be the ideal thing. I don't even know how many of these armies I really want to push down here with. I think I was keeping 3 and 3, but eventually we're going to have to split more armies off, because we're going to need more armies for forming up a border against India, fighting against India, because that front's going to be raging the entire time. Not to mention we could go to war with the Soviets from this side, if only we had the manpower to do so. And Japan's thing is they're always stretched thin. And you know my strategy from earlier is we went very Japan heavy. Let's go ahead and move the 21st Army forward. I think we have sight on that. Let's move forward. There you go. Supply stretching down there. Not the greatest, but it's enough to scare him theoretically. We do have the planes capable of doing some bombing runs. Not sure which runs to do just yet. This guy has no supply, so he'll die just basically no matter what. We'll do a normal attack with this core here. 0 supply. He's not very well off. 5 damage dealt. Ooh, we might actually need a little bit more help in killing him. We'll have the 5th Corps maybe go ahead and attack. Ooh, we can actually finally get across the river. That sounds more appealing to me. Let's finally get across the river. Attack him from behind. There you go. Beautiful. Which means I can finally put this HQ on Cheng Chao, which is going to theoretically improve. Well, it's still 10, but it is going to improve the supply spread in this region. We'll move this core up here to go get rid of that fortress and push the line up. Finally, making some pretty good headway. The supply and morale on this core is not very well off. With the 37th Army, it says we can one-shot the enemy commies here, so let's go ahead and... Ooh, we did not one-shot them, in fact, but the Corps should be able to finish them off. There you go. That's good enough. National morale bonus. There you go. Sweet. And now we'll have 3 armies that can form up over here. The cores are going to become less relevant. I'm trying to sift as many cores and other units away. We'll have 9 armies overall here. I do eventually want to get this down to like 4 or 6 instead of 9 dedicated to this front. We also have one over here, another army, as a defensive fixture, but I'm not too sure about this one. I might move this core over here. I was going to move it somewhere else because it could be useful elsewhere. Might move it over there just to fill in that defensive role, honestly. That would be nice. That would be nice because I need 3 down here to follow up by Kunming. We have 3 over here by Bangkok, so we'll have 6 over here if I can get them placed, but it's going to take some time. We'll start force marching. How's supply over there? It's good. It's good enough. Good enough. We'll force march our way across, I suppose. I don't know, because we're going to move the HQ up. That's definitely going to happen. But I'm not sure if we're going to move it up just yet. We could move it over here and it would function pretty fine. He's not going to make it into this mountain with this many zones of control next to him, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll move this HQ there. We could push things down the road a little bit better. Didn't actually change anything at all. Well, that's fine. How does that affect supply? It stays the same. Okay, good. We'll force march down here then. We'll force march this core over here. I don't think I was really thinking of doing that, but it will work. We're freeing up enough cores elsewhere anyway. More are freeing up. Definitely useful. We'll reinforce this core right here. And we have an autosave to interrupt us. I haven't even used the air yet. Oh, gosh. Oh, I hate when that happens. The already can't do very much. If we want to make any progress with the air, it's going to be right around here, because I don't think we're going to need it right here. Yeah, we're not. Let's just blitz attack with our stronger unit. 8 damage dealt, and he ran away. So that's an end to that. I could finish him off with this army, actually. Still, we want to make some progress over here. We do want to make some progress over here. That would be best done with the support of air. This one's not an option because anti-air. Well, it's an option, just not an option I'm willing to do. So let's see here. Let's start with the medium bombers. We'll try to finish off the NG with this unit. 2 damage dealt. NG's dead. We could move forward. We actually have the capacity to move forward. But we're not going to do that. We're not ready to move past Xi'an right now. We got to clear the area around it. As I mentioned in the last episode, by taking Kunming, I've stopped him from ever having the Burma Road and the Hump. So China's basically fucked. He's making probably one last valiant stand is what's realistically happening here. So, yeah. Let's do a bombing with the stronger tactical bomber. I think we are lowering his entrenchment, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of change. We'll do another bombing. No damage taken on our part. His readiness morale is extremely low. The actual values for our attack not really changing. We'll do a blitz or prepared attack here across the river with the 13th Army, dealing 3 damage, taking no damage. I'd have to swap if I wanted to squeeze anything else here, annoyingly. I don't think it's worth the swap, so we'll just move further down the road and we'll... Jesus, man. If I had mobility, this would be easier. I don't know if I can really spare that, though, because again, with our pushing, we're going to need more garrisons, but also I have a lot of naval stuff to do, so I need to keep the land spending to a minimum. Germany doesn't have this problem. I mean, they kind of do, but Germany has the leeway to dedicate everything to a single front. Japan doesn't have that leeway. Oh, hello. There's also Peru, but Peru's not really that important to be spending a lot of money on. Let's go ahead and move the 3rd Army just up here. We'll move slow. We'll move slowly. We can move the Arty into the mountains here, but I don't know if it's ever getting out if we do that. At least not without the assistance of something else. Apparently, we're going to need a garrison right here. I think that's where this was going. Well, this has a lot of places it could go, but I think that's where this guy by Nanjing was going. He was either going there or he was going much further west. Because, yeah, look, we have even more places that need control. God damn, do we have any more garrisons in the pipeline? We don't. Oh, dear God. So what am I going to do about that? Kind of limited. You know? I need more garrisons. I only have the 1 available. This won't become a problem too soon. Not too soon. I can finally get this into the mountains. right there, where it could take care of both of these partisan points, which is good because they're not covered by anything anymore. We have planes covering some fucking partisan points at this point, man. I'm tempted to just operate this to get it out here faster. It can't even go that far, though. This is still covered for right now, so, like, we're fine, but still. It can't get amazingly far, but we could still send it forward, let's say, this far? I guess. Yeah, I don't want to move that plane, so we'll just move it that far. I want to strangle whoever made these autosaves. Good God, they're infuriating. Okay. Now that we've done that, let's see. We have multiple armies and corps here to move. This guy needs to just move around to get onto the correct front now. Where we actually decide to push here is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because we don't really have anything set up to make pushing down this northern road very easy. We would eventually need, like, multiple HQs to bump supply down the different roads, but maybe this road isn't a road worth fighting for. Maybe moving down to Yangkou might actually be the better option. We could definitely give it an attempt. We could definitely give it an attempt, yeah. And I think I might. It's just too easy. So I'll move down there. We'll do a blitz attack on the enemy anti-air. We dealt 3 damage, not the 4 that we were expecting, and we took Yangkou, which is another supply point of theirs that now belongs to me. Artie has an interesting way of things as well. But we can basically give up Peking and move the HQ forward. That would function. I just don't know how efficient that would be, but it would function. If I move the Artie forward, we have to have enough zones of control here to stop him from moving across the river. That's basically just a given. I don't see anything else over here that looks too threatening, so I'll move the Artie down here. I'll move this army right here to serve as a defensive fixture. We'll move this HQ forward. We know we'll have this other army coming to assist, so I'm not too worried about, like, this front or anything. Supply will kind of improve in this region. It'll improve more as supply improves in this region. We do have this other garrison. I have a whole nother garrison. Why do I have so many garrisons here? What is this all for? Oh, one of these is for this right here. Okay, sure. We'll move you right there. You're taking care of that. Why do I have 2 garrisons over here now? I have extras. Well, that's fine. That's okay. Maybe I needed it at one point. I think these are all just ones that I was moving down. No, we still even have the one at Yankee, actually. So maybe the garrison issue is not as big as I would think. We will need a garrison over here. We're going to need one for right there. So one of you, someone's going to have to move down south. But for example, we could send one of these down here to take care of, I guess, both of these, huh? Yeah, both of them. We need... Okay. Well, that functions. That works. We'll send you just right down here for right now, I'd say. Actually, we have a garrison for both of these points, so that works out really well. So you can take care of that, and then you can take care of both of these. There you go. Maybe from the rear, though. Take care of both of these. Then we still have an extra garrison that we can utilize if we so chose to. It costs 5 MPPs to operate this garrison here, and we could get it about as far as this. I think we'll, one can take care of both of these, but we'll need more eventually, but eventually might actually not be quite yet. Looking at it, I think now that I've landed that one and moved these other ones, we do have enough for now until we get around here and then further. But we don't need a lot more garrisons, honestly. We need that one up northeast for, say, right here. Then we'll need another one for here, another one for here. So we only need 2 more garrisons for China. Maybe 1 more for Hong Kong. But that's actually really good. It's really good. That's really affordable. So we can hold that off for right now. Definitely we can hold that off for right now. Because we're not going to need them anytime excessively soon. Which is good, because we need MPPs for other things. So other than that, I mean... Get the Peking Defender Corps. They're not going to be defending Peking anymore. I guess I could move these guys over to, like, Tsingtao or something to get them ready to ship out. This core can get ready to ship out. They're just not needed anymore on the front. These ones are kind of maintaining a front right now, and I guess I'll keep them there, but we'll head over to Sing Sao. We'll head you over to Tientsin, get you guys ready to ship out. Hong Kong, again, I'm not sure that really deserves anything. 2 to 3 more garrisons for this mainland in total. We have 8 more garrisons we can make with just us. DEI can't really have anything else. I'll say fuck it. I'll move the heavy arty up here. We can upgrade the fighters. It's expensive to do that, but we can upgrade them. They're going to be used in a lot of places, so getting this upgrade for them is worthwhile, especially because they didn't really do anything this turn. We're down to 75 MPPs. We're going to move... I'm not sure if I want to move this up sooner or like what. Like where do I want this to be? I guess on top of Wan Ting works. Just to kind of show my presence. We can't really push any further here just yet. The supply does not allow it. He needs to resupply. I was going to move this to Wan Ting, but having the army over there for now while we wait for this other guy works out well, because this front is being haphazardly pieced together. We're going to move this paratrooper down here. And what the fuck? He's actually abandoned Penang. Wow, I did not expect that. Okay. I can't recon any further, so I'm going to break what I said I was going to do earlier. We're going to go ahead and move this forward. Okay, so he's just kind of allowed me to step in here. I don't know. He had all this time to set up defenses. He's probably set them up all around Singapore. This gives me a new port and a new location, though. That's really good. I don't need to rush Rangoon and Burma because the Burma road's already prevented, as is the hump. That oil would be great, but we don't need to rush it. I do need to reinforce both of these armies. Let's just reinforce them right now. We're down to 43 MPPs. That's really shitty. Because now I can't, I don't have enough MPPs to send certain things out to sea, which is kind of problematic. We can reinforce the aircraft on the escort carrier. Down to 39 MPPs, and it's forcing an autosave again. Yeah, we may have neglected naval a little bit this turn. May have neglected that. Most things here are fine, and they came here just for some upgrades. But otherwise, they were mostly stagnant. And a lot of the upgrades were just accessible to them already. Getting an upgrade ASW on the Nagato battleship works pretty well. These forward deployed things can get them first. ASW on the heavy cruiser. We only have 8 MPPs remaining. Not a lot we could do with that. I think I might just, starve this guy out. Says he has like 2 supply available to him. I don't have the money to put these guys back out to sea anyway. Their supply is going down, however. Manila's still recovering. We could attack. So long as we don't take damage, it's worth it. Let's go ahead and attack Wainwright. Deal 1 damage, take none. Deal 2 damage, take none. Yeah, so long as we don't take damage, it's worth it. We've lowered his entrenchment, making use of our supply while we have it. Pushing that front. Only 8 MPPs, meaning we're not really doing anything in the DEI this turn either. I am woefully neglecting the DEI, and this turn, I had to neglect the sea to kind of get things going on land as well as they are. But it's not like I did any elite reinforcements anywhere. We were just doing normal reinforcements. And everything is now too expensive to do any upgrades or anything with. We have this naval bomber here, which probably could do with moving right about now, somewhere more accessible. But for now, I think we'll just put him on Nagasaki so he'll have good supply. We do at least have some more special forces out and about. Even with all the extra DEI money, I'm not having the same rapid expansion I had in the PvE because I don't know, I'm not focusing as much on naval stuff, and I have a PvP player that is probably more competent than the AI because I feel like I've been making way less progress. We could get pretty close to the Bismarck Archipelago, and I think that's really where I want these guys to go. Seems like these locations are not going to surrender to me, so we're going to need to land over there as well. So we're going to need to just move in that direction in general. We know he has some naval presence out here, so I'm not quite sure how far we can really get in that region. We do have another special forces right here, and, well, more, of course, over here that could go for these locations. There's some oil over there that could matter, but before he gets fully set up navally, I'd like to strike out as hard and fast as possible. Not quite sure where we can actually manage to get to, though. If he has American ships all the way over here already, it's going to be hard to say. We could go for Brunei. I don't know if he has anything over there. I don't know, I'm actually very curious to see what you guys think of how I've been handling Japan so far. I definitely have handled the expansion part slower. I know that. We'll just move down to the DEI for right now. And chill out in those ports. Cross a lot of distance. And then we could maybe try to see if he has anything undefended in the region. I remember this falling, you know? Maybe both of these, I don't actually remember. But I think like both of these surrendered. But they didn't this time. So maybe... Oh, he has units here. That's why. Oh, you see it. Right here, too. He has units placed here. Maybe they're new. Otherwise, if I was him, I would have claimed this oil. That's 9 MPPs that he could just take from me. So he might have units here. Yeah. It certainly looks that way. Where would he have gotten them from? Australia? Singapore? Is that why there's nothing by Singapore? Maybe. It's possible. I'm not sure. Without more intel, I'm just making guesses, really. I'm going to move this DEI light cruiser over by one port. This sub can go somewhere. I'm not sure where to send this. This is the DEI sub. We could send it to try to do some raiding. We could try to set some sub traps. I don't know. We don't really have logistics to be maintaining anything over there. If I remember correctly, I was thinking of setting a sub trap around by Singapore while we still don't own it. I think that was kind of my idea there. I'm not sure what the safety is for just rushing up on Singapore, though. Maybe we'll take this one step at a time. Kind of set up a trap first by the Philippines. Just for this turn, and then bring it down towards Singapore next turn. And that seems like a decent usage of that DEI sub. And then nobody else can move, yeah? Alright, so then Japan really is done. 8 MPPs isn't enough to do anything. Still sad I kind of had to neglect certain things. Supplies going up in Addis Ababa again, because, yeah, he hasn't continued invading. He's keeping some South Africa cores here. The others went south, God knows to where. Maybe they're trying to get up to Egypt, but they're taking the long way. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where he might be thinking of sending them, but we are freeing up stuff in this area. We might eventually have enough supply needed to upgrade their infantry weapons, but for now, Italian forces are quite limited on what they can do. Attacking Alexandria would be an absolute pain in the ass. We don't have anything set up for that. We can go ahead and get the 4th garrison off of Tripoli, put the Amito Corps over to defend Tripoli for right now, get this guy moving elsewhere. We could try bombing, but you know that's going to lead to a fight with fighters. Supply on the front's pretty shitty. If we move this HQ forward, though, it's going to improve at least on this side. It's not going to improve too much in the south. The south is going to stay mostly the same. I'd love to jump across one side somehow. We have this front extended, but the only side we can really afford to fight on is right here at Alexandria, where he's not fully entrenched yet, and we do have other armies in the region. So maybe that's worth looking into. I'm not really sure. Again, these guys also need to just go somewhere where they have more supply. A little bit, you know, just a touch. If this will have 8 and it'll project down into the desert, 6, 4. We could probably move this HQ up more. This one over here is probably not needed staying over here anyway. It could probably try to move through the desert by itself as well. And try to form up like a new front, kind of facing the south. It's possible. It's not maybe the most likely thing to be useful, but it's possible. But really, as Italy, we're going to need to focus just hyper specifically on like one location is kind of the thing here. I'm not quite sure how to do successive attacks given the situation that we have here. One of the best things I could do is bombard, but again, you don't really have that capability. We have the ability to do 1 to 2 prepared damage against these armored tanks, which would weaken them. I don't know how we're going to get a new unit in there, however. We just have too many units on the front. It's too clogged up at this point. It is way too clogged up. We have too many cores. We actually have too many units. We've reached that point. And we don't have the logistics to try to flank around any further. Not easily, anyway. I could try to move the tanks up. But again, I want to get upgrades on all these guys. Certainly. I'll get upgrades on this guy that can get upgrades right now, but everyone else is too far away to get any upgrades at all. I'll move this core forward for right now. Just kind of push along that side. We'll move this core maybe away. Maybe. Yeah, maybe away. And then we'll move this tank. I'm not sure. I'll move this core south. That's what we'll do. I'll move this core south, because then I can press more armies up against the front. We'll move this tank forward. Oh, hey! Found the Sudanese HQ, and it says we have a chance at a blitz attack. I can move Gazoni forward. I don't really know if this is going to do any good. It doesn't seem like it's going to do very much good. It seems like it's just going to hurt supply, if anything. Yeah, this is going to be a bit of a trudge. I don't have anything that's going to prove too useful here, and honestly, I can't even move in here anymore because of zones of control, which is weird. You'd think if I just owned something, I could just move one unit in, move one unit out. That's how real war works, but... Video games. We'll do this blitz attack. We'll try it. 1 damage dealt, none taken. Supply is going to get much worse over here before it gets any better. But I'm going to move another HQ down there to hopefully bounce supply a little more effectively. It's just going to be a prolonged process. This is kind of a distraction front at the moment. We'll go ahead and we'll attack the armored tanks at Alexandria. The Arty can still defend them. That's something. The Arty can still defend them. We dealt the 2 damage we expected. We took 2 damage instead of the 1 that we expected, which is sad. But it's something, I guess. I guess it's something. Moving anybody else in there to assist is just going to be a pain in the ass, I guess. Because having this HQ here is not really the best, as it would turn out. I'm not quite sure how to seamlessly move this HQ out of here either. I guess it'll have to be in a strange way. In a really strange way. Wish I could move this army somewhere better than here. They don't have enough action points because they don't have enough supply. That's what's happening here. Well, if I move 1 core away, just like all the way away, let's just get you the fuck out of here. Oh, of course the HQ can get into that zone of control. The one guy that I don't want in that zone of control. Move this army back, move this army forward. And then we get a fresh unit up there. We have more zones of control. Supply is decent for our units, especially now that I'm here. That actually helped a lot, because this didn't need much bumping. Okay, well, that works for right now. Armies will maintain this front. This core I might send over here, because, again, we really just have too many cores. I'd love to get the better ones in the south, but realistically, they'll just get upgraded with time. I'll leave one of these cores in the region. Bombing still won't really net any amazing results, so I don't want to do a blitz attack. This is just going to slow down to like a screeching halt at this point. Supply is going to stay good enough over here. I will move you up a touch, I think. The fighters need to move up as well. Maybe we could move them into that spot. Move the fighters up as well. So the fighters have been moved up. Everything's moved up. Italy has 94 MPPs to use, which means they could actually maybe save up or go for something else. I think for now what I'll do is I'll just reinforce this sub. It's a cheap thing. 84 MPPs remaining. Naval upgrades can wait. We're not itching for a naval fight, and that's a huge investment. We can't afford any research, and there's really nothing to purchase. So we'll just save those 84 MPPs for when we might need them most. I could do an attempt at some sort of bombing here. For example, we could scout out around here. We found nothing. All right. Germany still needs to spend some MPPs, and I think it's a good time to start getting some of these defenses going or expanding them. We don't have enough money for the Yugoslavian HQ, unfortunately. We could go for the army, because now that he has America, his plans are in motion, so thinking ahead like this would be good. There's a production delay for each of these things. We could also think ahead some more for Finland, try to get another garrison. We would need an HQ more than anything. A lot of saving could be done to afford things, but at the very least, getting everything except mobility, because these are defensive fixtures, right? They don't really need mobility. On these cores, I think is what I'll do. One of them has mobility, but I think he popped out with it. And that brings me down to 161 MPPs with Germany. That's not an insane amount. Maybe we could go for another garrison. We do need multiple more garrisons. We already paid for the 7th, so let's pay for the 8th. And I could pay for more, even, because we'll need one for Verones. We'll need one eventually for Tula. We'll need 2 over here by Pskov, and we've only paid for 2. I could pay for all 4 of them right now, actually, and afford it. And if we push further, you know, we're going to need even more by Moscow. So, okay. You know, it's simple. It's maybe not exciting, but we're going to go ahead and pay into getting 4 garrisons building instead, and I can use anything remaining on reinforcing one of these cores over in this region, just kind of leaving that be. I know I was thinking of doing something down here, something special, but I think that required, like, moving the fighters. They're reinforcing anyway, so we're not going to mess with that right now. For now, though, I think that's it for the turn. I think we've done everything. Yeah, seems so. Alright then, let's go ahead and hit end turn and pass it back to Travis. Germany develops long-range aircraft 2, nice. Some research progress. Japan gets advanced subs level 2, nice. Japan ends up with 359 total, 671 for Germany, 108 for Italy. Not bad. Germany's getting a lot more MPPs with everything they're taking over, which is making them way more capable. But Japan, oh man, poor Japan. Hopefully it works out well for us. He was pretty quiet. He's probably a lot of movements in the background. Regardless, this was our full episode. We'll continue on the next episode when he gets the turn back to us. So for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on that next episode.